Hey everyone, so there's a lot of information out there in regards to sunscreen education to read through and sift through, so I thought I would come on here and just cut to the chase and let you guys know everything that I've learned. And the most important thing to look for when you're looking at your sunscreen is to make sure and choose a true broad spectrum sunscreen. Now, this term is very loosely regulated in the US, just like the terms natural and organic, and they can label their sunscreens as broad spectrum when they aren't, in fact, broad spectrum. So that's why most of our sunscreens on the market in the US aren't able to be sold in Europe, because they have stronger regulation on their personal care industry and on that broad spectrum term. It's a lot stronger regulation. So make sure that you are looking for a true broad spectrum. And what that means is that you want to look for a sunscreen that is blocking both UVA and UVB sun rays. Now, UVB sun rays are the sun rays of the sun that are going to cause a sunburn, and that's where SPF comes into play. Now, the other part, UVA sun rays, are the sun rays that cause skin aging, and they penetrate deeper into the skin, and this is the most important sun rays to block. Now, when you're looking to block UVB rays, you want to look at the SPF, and SPF 30 is the most that you're going to want to put on your skin, and this is why. So SPF 20 is going to block 97% of UVB sun rays, and SPF 30 is going to block 98%. Now, when you go above that to 35, 40, 50 plus SPF and beyond, they are only blocking a tiny minuscule amount of sun rays beyond the 98% that SPF 30 does. And it's like 0.001. I don't know the technical amounts, but it's just so minuscule that it's not going to make a huge difference in sunburn prevention or UVB sun ray blockage. Now, what you're doing instead is you're slathering a bunch of chemicals on your skin more than you were if you just put an SPF 30, because they just fill it up with a bunch of chemicals and say SPF 50, and it really just doesn't block a lot more of the sun. Now, when you talk about UVA sun rays, that's the skin aging part of the sun. When the sun penetrates and enters into our skin, it can create free radicals. And we want to neutralize those free radicals or prevent that from happening, because when you form free radicals, that means that those radicals pick up an electron from our skin molecules, and that alters the skin DNA. Now, when the skin DNA is altered, that can cause or speed up skin aging, which is not what we want. So companies have put in the past and currently retinol palmitate or vitamin A in sunblock or a lot of different personal care products to neutralize these free radicals. But what's actually happening through research, and FDA is saying, is that this retinol palmitate is safe, but when it is actually mixed with the sun is actually, with the retinol palmitate, increasing or speeding up the process of free radical formation. So it's actually doing exactly what they are saying it's supposed to prevent. What it's also doing is retinol palmitate, when mixed with the sun rays, is causing hyperplasia, which is excessive skin growth. So that means it's actually one of the causes of speeding up skin cancer or cancerous growths of the skin. So for two reasons, that is why you want to avoid retinol palmitate or its derivative, which is retinol is the whole form of vitamin A, and retinol palmitate is just a couple different chemical derivatives mixed in to vitamin A or retinol. So those are retinol is another product or ingredient to prevent or look for and not use, because it can speed up skin growth or skin tumors. And so that is just something to look for when you're looking for a true broad spectrum. You want to prevent both UVA and UVB sun rays. Now, when you're looking at ingredients, oxybenzone is a common ingredient to block UVB sun rays, but it's causing coral bleaching, it's killing our coral, and it's been shown to be bioaccumulative, which means when it's in our system, it bioaccumulates or accumulates, and we don't have a way to process it. So it stays in our system a lot longer and just accumulates. So another reason to prevent or to avoid something like oxybenzone. Now, instead, you want to look for something like zinc oxide. But the problem with zinc oxide is it's very thick and greasy. So that's why people don't like to use physical sunscreens, because it's a very common ingredient. But what you can do is you can grind up zinc oxide and make it into a nano zinc oxide. And that's what they started doing. But then they noticed that when they did that, the nano zinc oxide was getting completely absorbed into our skin very quickly. And you don't want all of that getting absorbed into your skin. So what I like to look for in a safe ingredient to block UVB sun rays is something like non-nano zinc oxide. And what non-nano zinc oxide is it's tiny enough particles that it's not getting absorbed into your skin. So a company like Beauty Counter, their sunscreen mist, which is like #1 on almost every list this summer, and why it's a safe alternative to use is because they use non-nano zinc oxide. So what they're doing is they're not only using a safer ingredient to block the sun rays, but they're also saying that all those ingredients are not even going to get absorbed into your skin. So they're going above and beyond. Another ingredient to look for instead of retinol palmitate to block UVA sun rays is something like California poppy from the California poppy plant, which is another ingredient that Beauty Counter uses. And this is a great antioxidant to neutralize the free radicals to prevent sun aging, as opposed to something like retinol palmitate, which is doing exactly that. It's increasing free radicals. So that is why I love Beauty Counters. I think it's an awesome option. It also blocks against blue light, which is another added protection. Now, the only other controversy with sunscreen is vitamin D. And I will say that is a great source, the sun, to get vitamin D, and it's one of our main sources. But I do think that the risk of sun damage between UVB-A and UVB sun rays are greater than not using protection. And you can supplement orally with vitamin D to get those added benefits. So that's just something also to keep in mind. It's very important to protect your skin and prevent sun aging in the long run. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope it makes a lot more sense to you guys so that you can choose a safer sunscreen for you and your family this summer.